So, guys, we have here a visit from Netanyahu to the White House discussing with President Trump the details of a possible ceasefire for 60 days with Hamas. We're going to be looking over this. My name is Tzvi. I'm here with Harold. We are part of a Rood Awakening Spanish side of the ministry, here with Matt Weimer from a Rood Awakening discussing these topics. I know there are a lot of people kind of mad on the Israeli side about this because the original objective of the whole war that destroyed most of Gaza was to remove Hamas from power. So after nearly 2 years, we are not there yet. Now discussing a ceasefire. What do you think about this, guys?
Okay, well, before continuing, just so you know, guys, stay tuned because we're going to be discussing different topics today, okay? This major diplomatic push for ceasefire at the White House. Take note, Matt, because I have a bunch of questions for you. The controversial Gaza resettlement proposal from Bibi, from Netanyahu, okay? And also we got the indirect negotiations progressing in Qatar, progressing, right?
Yeah.
And finally, the regional implications. We like to know an update about how the Trump talks with Iran are going. Okay, so maybe we can start with this meeting that we're looking at on the screen with Netanyahu and President Trump.
Yeah. So what you're seeing there is Bibi is visiting the White House. They had a dinner, I believe it was last night, and this topic of discussion was plans for a ceasefire in Gaza for 60 days, and the concern, of course, is, as you were saying, the hostages, or the Hamas is the original intent of going in October was to eliminate Hamas to the point where they could never come back. And I feel that is a legitimate concern. Yes, as is being highlighted there, 1,200 people were killed, 251 taken hostages, and there's still 50 remaining there, 20 still believed to be alive. And then on the other side, the war has resulted in the deaths of 57,000 Palestinians. So what I think is that if a ceasefire deal is made, it'll be similar to the situation in Iran, where I don't think it'll stick. Hamas has to be eliminated, or they will come back. Just like the Iranian regime, the head of the snake there has to be eliminated, or it will come back against Israel in the future. So,
That's got to be done. Now, Have you heard of the proposal from Netanyahu about the voluntary resettlement from the people from Palestine? Have we heard that?
I have heard a little bit about it, yeah, where they're wanting to resettle them in places like Qatar and Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of these Arab nations do not want them because they know what Hamas is about, and they don't want any of Hamas in their countries. Hamas is one of the most brutal Islamic Jihad organizations in the world. They're one of the worst terrorist groups to ever come about.
Okay. Now, also the humanitarian aid. What can you tell us about that, Matt?
So Israel put a stop to it because there were Arab clans, they're anti-Hamas Arab clans, going in and fighting with Hamas over it. And so Israel had to put a stop to it because it's not going to where it's intended to go, to the people of Palestine, people of Gaza.
Okay, that's a reason. The reason I ask you this is because sometimes you read something else in the news
Mhm.
and they try to twist it a little bit, right? Trying to make Team Israel not doing the right thing with the
Right.
humanitarian aid. So thanks for clarifying that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's about getting it to the Palestinian people in Gaza that are not part of the terrorist organizations within Gaza. But the problem is the terrorist organizations and the Arab clans are jumping in and taking it. I mean, I've even heard stories of Hamas shooting at people trying to get aid. So it's definitely a difficult situation.
And then we have Bibi nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is probably very flattering, I'm sure, for Trump. And a lot of people will scoff at this, but let's remember that President Obama received a Nobel Peace Prize for doing virtually nothing. He
Right.
didn't do anything at all at the beginning of his presidency. It was like a kind of like a token that he was given that. In the end, he ended up, we know, dropping tens of thousands of bombs in Iraq and other countries and continuing the military operation from the US that lasted a couple of decades. On the other hand, Trump, we can say that, I mean, he may be trying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he dropped a few bombs in Iran, um, but he didn't invade. There are no boots on the ground. There is no push for a long war. On the other hand, he has been in talks with all sides, both with Gaza and the Palestinian Authority and Iran, also the Zelensky and Putin. And so he's trying to push for peace. At least this is what is seen from the outside.
Yeah.
Is that just to keep us all duped and then they do something else? Could be. But I don't know. Do you think he will get the prize?
I don't know that he'll get it, but I do believe that that there is a clear difference between Obama and Trump when it comes to this situation, where Trump, even if he's cutting Israel off from being able to complete their mission of taking out the Iranian regime or taking out Hamas completely, it may be, in ignorance or naivety, but I do believe in his heart that he is actually wanting peace in the Middle East, versus, Obama, like you were saying, receiving it virtually for no reason. I think that Trump is legitimately trying to bring peace to the Middle East, even if he's not going about it the exact correct way. Nevertheless,
I agree.
trying.
I agree with you, Matt. Even though, let's be honest, President Trump has been a little bit controversial with some of the things that he's been doing or the way he's been doing things, right? But when it comes to war, I can see that he's trying to avoid a major war with Russia, let's say, and that's the reason why he's not getting involved with Ukraine. I would say, he's trying to avoid it, to take it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And with Israel, he saw that Iran was a complete threat not only for Israel but for Middle East and for the whole world. So that's the reason why he had to intervene, right?
Correct.
And I would say that who else could be nominated, right, to get the Nobel Peace Prize? So
Exactly. I see the heart behind what is trying to be done there. Even if the result doesn't, leads only to peace temporarily until Hamas and the Iranian regime show their head again. At least in the meantime, he is trying to bring peace in these areas.
Okay, good. Now, and I also like to hear the comments from our audience. I like to motivate our audience to to let us know what you guys think about all this, and to conclude with this update, I like to know if you have an update also on Iran in Israel. Matt, have you heard anything lately about Trump, Iran, Israel? How's that going?
So I haven't heard anything specifically between Trump and Iran. However, Israel went in and took out some Houthi areas in Yemen recently, and simultaneously they were in Iran. And in Iran, there were some explosions and things. Israel's still doing some work in Iran, trying to take out anything that could be a danger to them. I don't know specifically what they were after. It could be, old fighter jets that they have, or old more ballistic missile sites, or even a nuclear facility. I'm not sure, but I've been seeing news reports that about Israel going into Iran at the same time they were dealing with the Houthis the other day. So that's what I know about it right now.
All right, and we have in the meantime that those ongoing talks take place between Trump and Netanyahu. We have a handful of Israeli soldiers that died in Gaza as we record this, and we have also, several dozen Palestinians that were killed as well in airstrikes. So, war is a tragedy. All sides. Some people see it as a necessary evil at times, but we send our condolences to all the families affected by this. It's a tragedy and a real hardship. So
it is. And I just want to say real quick, one good thing I'm seeing coming out of Iran from stuff that people are sending me and stuff I'm finding is that the underground church in Iran is growing drastically. There are so many Iranians right now coming to belief in Yeshua. It's amazing. Yeah. So there's some good things coming out of this.
Amazing. Yeah. And I mean, the Islamic radical Islam, that's not the traditional religion of Iran anyway. The ancient Persians were conquered by the Islamic culture and demographic growth, in the centuries after Muhammad. And,
right.
Some people still identify with these ancient traditions and not with the radical Islam, because that's the only Islam that they know, really. So, yeah, praying for all those people, praying for the growth of the knowledge of the Almighty and Yeshua in Iran and the whole world. So thank you guys for sharing this segment. We invite everyone to share in their comments, their thoughts, share the video, follow for more updates, and thank you guys. See you next time. Shalom.
Shalom.